Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about BAMMA Nomics and what exactly is BAMMA Nomics. Well, it's a lot more complicated than trigonometry, I'll tell you that right now, because listening to some of the stories, and there are 12 stories about each individual story that comes from YouTube with this particular individual. But this story is beyond the pale when it comes to the monies that were collected, the monies that were spent, the monies that were given, the monies that were collected. It's very, very complicated. It's a lot more complicated than trigonometry. So that's one thing we're going to talk about. And the second thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about legal cases filed in the Philippines for cyber libel, and how a proper defense will word a document to counteract cyber libel, which is really complicated because in this file here, I have, 3 pages of legal jargon, not argument, but quoted legal cases case histories of things that were filed against certain peoples in the Philippines. Nobody that's nothing recent, these cases. The case that was filed against me was about 1.5 years ago. But the legal jargon to prove that the cyber libel is not or should not be accepted by the court, that's a completely different thing than the video evidence or false video evidence that was used to build up a case against me. So in order to have the courts, what they call quash, Q-U-A-S-H, quash the case against me, I had to hire a lawyer. Because you do that. I keep trying to tell Barry that you're going to need a lawyer. Okay, now whether it makes no difference if you have the money or don't have the money, you're going to need a lawyer to counteract the claims that were put against you. I'm not breaking your chops, Barry. I'm trying. I'm a lot more than the government. I'm actually trying to help you. Because no matter what you think, maybe you deserve a break. Now, you've had 1,000 breaks, but that's not what we're going to talk about right now. We'll talk about that later. So what I'm going to explain to you in this is that you need a lawyer, and then I'm going to read not argument, but law. Now, there's a difference. You want to go Barry, you want to go before the judge or advocate or prosecutor, persecutor, whatever you want to call that person. You want to walk into a courtroom and argue why the videos against you are not valid. That's argument. Argument and law are 2 different things. You're going to learn that the hard way. And the hard way is if you have a good judge and he wants to be fair about this, he'll tell you that you need to be represented. Next time you come back to court, bring representation. If you have a bad judge, they'll just say, we're going to go ahead with the trial. Maybe. I don't know what they do in the Philippines, but I'm going to explain to you why, and then I'm going to explain to you the difference between argument and law. Argument is you walking into the courtroom and saying, well, sir, I have video evidence that he did this to me and he did that to me. Nope, it's not going to fly at all. It's not even going to entertain listening to you, is not even going to be part of the conversation. That's argument. They want law. So he may give you another opportunity, or he may just file the charges at that point. I'm not kidding with you. I'm telling you the truth. So I'll read some of the points that my lawyer had to argue that the videos that were presented against me were not valid. I'll read you why they were not valid. And then you'll understand that what you have as far as video evidence may or may not be acceptable by a court of law. But what you have, you can't use as part of your argument to have someone else's case thrown out. You have to show that the case against you is not valid because of the laws that have been passed, ordinances, laws, and codes that have been passed before your day in court. And if you can't do that, then you have argument, not law. And what you need is law. Now, you can believe it, not believe it. You can claim that you have no money. Then, of course, we talked about this in another video, you have to big egotize your case. You need to get somebody to back you financially. And that's going to be hard because nobody believes you anymore about anything. And then we're going to talk about my posts today, why no one believes you, and how many different stories about just one single thing that still to this day, nobody understands where your passport was, who had it, where it went, how you got it back, how much it cost to get it back. Was it with a lawyer in Manila that was paid 85,000 pesos that you said, and then someone brought it back to you? No, no one believes that. Was it out of your possession? Yes, we believe that. Who had the passport? No one to this day knows where that passport was and how it got back into your possession. Even though 2 or 3 times you tried to explain it, once you mumbled your way through the explanation and no one could understand the words. Probably had to listen to that segment of your live stream the other day 7 or 8 times to maybe I understand what you said, that it never left Cebu. But for a year, well, not for a long time, you said someone else had the passport and it was in Manila at a lawyer's office. So you have so many stories that this is why no one gives you donations. Now, there's another option for donations, and you refused, and it's a valid option. You refused to give your lawyer's details so that the donations go directly to your lawyer, which makes people believe. Now, I believe you, of course, I believe you, but you said, no, my lawyer doesn't want his name. He wants you to send you or Shah now the money. Well, nobody believes that. Now, you could believe what you want to believe, but nobody, because you say you don't have access to the money if it goes to Shah, you have total access to that money. You say the money's going to Shah, I don't have access to that money, she'll give it to a lawyer. She probably will. After you buy an $85 rib dinner with brisket a couple of times, and after you buy your $30 meals in where you are, because you deserve that, because for 6 months, well, not 6 months, but for a while now, you're not eating $30 and $40 dinners. Nobody's going to give you any more money. I'm trying to help you here, dude. I'm trying to make a show, too. I'm trying to do a show, and I'm trying to help you. You have no reason to believe otherwise, because I've not said anything bad about you, although I have been offered in the past to testify against you. I declined. Although I could testify against you, I declined. Just remember that. Put that in the back of your hat. I will not testify against you. But I am telling you that you need a lawyer. So let me get on to reading some of the comments. And if I don't know who you are and I don't read your comment, don't take it personal. If you want me to know your name, I do these shows for my own pleasure, and I do them for your entertainment. If it's worth anything for you to send me a super chat or a little, what some people call jingle, then do that. And then maybe I'll recognize you as a donor to my channel. But I don't have to respond to all comments. I will respond to the more intelligent ones. I will no longer respond to trolls. I will no longer respond to people that are on my page for years and make silly comments. Okay, so let's get over to my page and let's go over here. Let's open up a window. So far. Oh. So far, so good. We see a commercial. Aesop's Fables. I love Aesop's Fables. Yoda's Farm. Now, I have a feeling I know who Yoda's Farm is, but I don't care. But they're one of my friends. So Yoda's Farm says, Barry, he got scammed. I guess it works both ways. Now, see, Barry, this is what you have, and you deal with it well, because you don't care what anybody says about you. You don't care about what anybody says about you, and you don't care that people try to help you either. And you don't know the difference between somebody breaking your chops and somebody trying to help you. And we'll get into that momentarily. Nothing's going to happen between the Swamp Man. Oh, let's turn this around. John Blaze. Let's get John Blaze's channel up on the page. Somebody get John Blaze's. John Blaze, you are a very bad man. You are breaking chops, John Blaze. But moving past that, nothing's going to happen between the Swamp Man and the Roach. They're going to laugh them right out of the door in the courtroom. He has no lawyer, says Yoda's Farm. Now, he does need a lawyer. And Barry, they will not entertain Barry's argument against Frank's case. Matt T., the boy who cried wolf, civilized America taught Aesop's Fables by third grade. Civilized America was taught. That's right. Aesop's Fable of the Boy Who Cried Wolf. Didn't see. Nice hat. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Fazio from John Blaze. John Blaze. While you're here, look, dude. Now, you and I both know I'm an A&P mechanic. Okay? And you know I want those Cleco clamps that were in your video. It's the one tool that I have. I have the Cleco tool. Just get me a dozen clamps for 1/8 inch. I have the Cleco tool. If it's the same tool from the old Cleco clamps, I have like 3 Cleco clamps, and the springs are worn out. So I'll take that tray of 12. And if you want to bring the both sizes, I'll take both sizes. I don't need any of those screw-on drill bits for the I have about 120 of those, all different sizes, from 3/32 up to 7/32. I think I have. I don't need the drill bits, but I want that tray of Cleco clamps, and I would like to have the Cleco tool. If they're different from the old Cleco tools. If they're same Cleco tool from the old Cleco tool, I don't need them. I just need 12 of those Cleco clamps. Now, as far as that repair, thank God that repair is temporary or not on the outside skin, because that looked like amateur hour. Some of those holes were drilled on an 18 or 20 degree off kilter. I wouldn't say that on your video because the men doing the work, but some of them look like they, when you put the rivets in, and the rivets were on an angle like that, and then the guy smacking the rivet gun down to get the rivet stem off of there. He was smacking it down to get the top of the rivet flush with the skin. If he would have drilled those holes vertical, that wouldn't happen. But anyway, far be it from me as an A&P mechanic. That repair would be okay for something inside the aircraft, but it's not aerodynamic, you know that. So the Cleco tools, though, the Cleco tools, I want that, and I'd really like that. I'd like to get the that diesel generator, that 25,000 watt diesel generator. If you can put that in with your luggage, that'd be great. No chance they throw this out after the judge hears about Barry's background, then sees him on video with his garbage mouth. And okay, let's turn this around so you could see what I'm reading. Barry needs a lawyer. No chance, Matt T says. I told you I'm going to read out the intelligent comments. And this fella, Matt T, just the fact that he knows about Aesop's fables, he gets a big shout out for that. Matt T. Now, Barry, pay attention here. Pay attention, because you did this. According to the documents, this may be true. No chance they throw this out. After the judge hears about Barry's background, then sees him on video with his garbage mouth and general demeanor, he's not going to want Barry in his society. Matt T., most people will agree with you on that, but the judge is going to make a determination on Barry's argument. Barry has only argument, and if the other charges were recorded properly, then Barry's argument will be null and void. And this is the problem listening to Barry's live streams. You could listen to them, but they change from day to day. And I've listened to them, and I would agree with you, Matt T., that in general, the judge is going to look at the videos that are supposed to be acceptable for a court of law, and the judge, it will bias the judge if he gets to see the videos. The judge is going to have an opinion. That's his job, to have opinion. CFD, Charlie Frank Delta, says Barry really needs a lawyer. That's true. Okay, that's true. He needs a lawyer. So we could do Barrynomics, but let me just break down Barrynomics for you briefly. Okay, so at some point, Barry, you admitted 220,000 pesos were collected. See, this is the problem with you, Barry. You're not listening to yourself, and you're not listening to rational argument, conversation. You're not paying attention. You don't even pay attention to what you say. In multiple videos, you have said multiple different things as to where the passport was. We're only going to talk about the passport. We're only going to talk about that one thing, that you had a passport. You, Barry Jordan, you said that you gave the passport to somebody to hold for you, and then there was a loan involved somehow. You said that a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. In order to get the passport back, the loan had to be paid off. Whether it was for the passport or whether it was a personal loan, that's besides the point. You owed somebody money, and they held your passport, and it's in good order. So if 220,000 pesos was collected, and I'm doing this by memory, so forgive me if I don't remember every detail of my post. Can you imagine Barry trying to defend himself? What an embarrassment he would be. This is me. You're right about that. Definitely right about that. That's an intelligent statement. I know that you're a friend of Barry's, but you're at least a subscriber to Barry's channel. Barry, this is the kind of thing you need to see, that people all in agreement that you're going to need a lawyer and that you won't be able to defend yourself. So let's just go back here for a minute while there's no comments. So 220,000 pesos. Now I could open up that post and I could break it down for you so that you could see it. Let's do that. Let's go over to my channel. Let's go to my channel. Let's go to my channel. And we'll go to my community post. And then you can read what I wrote about the monies, because this is really confusing. This really is confusing. So here's the breakdown. And this is on my community post on Zionist YouTube community. All right, so 220,000 pesos were collected. That's what you agreed to, not including if there were any secret donations. So Barry understands that 220,000 pesos was collected. And Barry claims, falsely, by the way, Barry falsely claims that money was stolen from him, and then he forgives the person who supposedly stole money from Barry. But this is another one of Barry's lies. And Barry knows I have no reason to defend that man. But I do want to defend the truth. So no money, let's clear this up. No money was stolen from Barry Jordan. Nothing, not a penny. If anything, for time spent, expenses, plane fares, hotels, food, and accommodations, if anything, Barry probably still owes the man that collected the money for him money. And that's the truth. And I broke it down on my community page. So let me get that link up there for you guys that are in the chat. And you guys can come over to the page, and then you're going to look for the hog-nosed bat, and then we'll break it, and then we'll go back to the community post. Okay, yep, that's not it. That's it right there. Okay, so let's go back to the community post, and that's the one, that's the hog-nosed bat. You're going to look for the second one down, and that's a Kitty's hog-nosed bat. That reminds me of Alabama. I don't know why it reminds me of Alabama, but it does. Okay, so let's go here. So Barry agrees 220,000 pesos was collected in donations. Now, out of that, if everything is legal and above board, 75,000 pesos of that is going to be needed to pay, was taken away by YouTube before it even got to 220. So out of that, 75,000 pesos take away from 220, it ends up at 150,000 pesos was collected for Barry's passport, and expenses to help Barry with a lawyer. 50,000 of that pesos went to the person that was holding Barry's passport. He said years ago he was e-begging for money for 50,000 pesos to get his passport back. So that's what he said he owed the man that was holding the passport. He said that. Those words came out of Barry's mouth. So if the passport was received by the person who was helping Barry, and 220 less 75 is 150, roundabout, less 50,000 for the man who was holding the passport in good faith and made Barry a good faith loan. Now that leaves 100,000 pesos for the man that was collecting the money for Barry, that he is holding in his possession. Now let's account for that 100,000 pesos. 15,000 pesos of that went to Barry in cash monies. 15,000. So now that leaves 85,000 pesos in cash money that was collected for a lawyer. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with Barry's statements. You also said there was a lawyer involved, and a lawyer was hired in Manila. You said that 85,000 pesos was given to a lawyer in Manila for your immigration case, a high-end immigration lawyer. And if you take the 85,000 pesos that's left from the other three subtractions, you have 85,000 pesos left. You said the lawyer cost 85,000 pesos, therefore there's no money left. Now, let's just say that no money was given to a lawyer in Manila and you lied, because you are capable of, you lied. You are capable of lying. You are a liar. Everybody knows that that's what you do. And now that there are 12 different stories, one of those 12 stories might be true, but 11 of them are false. So let's just say there never was a lawyer in Manila, and let's say the 85,000 pesos still exists. Let's talk about the airfare necessary to get to Manila, and 4 days that I remember were at the immigration office, 4 days of hotel fare, 4 days of transportation for 2 people. So 2 people, transportation, 15,000 pesos per person. That's 30,000. 4 days of hotels. That's another 20,000 with food for 2 people and transportation. So 20 and 30 is 50. 50 out of the 85 that's left leaves 30,000 pesos. Now, the iPhone thing I just threw in there as a joke because that's not part of the case. But that leaves 30,000 pesos. Okay. So that there is a 30,000 peso discrepancy. But you also said that the person that collected the money for you went to Boracay with his girlfriend on his way to Manila. Well, look at me now, Barry. Look at me. Look at me. If I was going to go out of my way for you, and I am doing that right now, by the way. But if I was going to go traveling around the Philippines and have to deal with renting a hotel in Manila and renting cabs and paying for foods in Manila and walking around with my girlfriend, because you need to have an interpreter. You can't do it in the American language. So he had to bring his girlfriend. That's a must. That's a fact. You can get very little done unless you speak the language here. So if I was going to go to Manila for 4, possibly 5 days, for you, deal with traffic, cabs, walking up and down 4 floors of stairs, buying food, talking to people, going back, talking to other people, going back, talking to other people, I would want to be compensated. So if he went to Boracay with his girlfriend and used the balance of that 30,000 pesos, which is a lot more expensive in Boracay than 30,000 pesos, your money legitimately was used for legitimate purposes according to your words. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but because you've lied about so many things, nobody takes your word. We have already this week 5 or 6 different versions of where the passport was. It was in a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. The passport was in Manila, in a lawyer's office, and somebody had to go there to get it, and Shah was going to Manila to get the passport. That was 2 or 3 weeks ago. That never happened. Then your passport was in Manila. Somebody had to go get it. But yesterday, you said the passport never left Cebu. So you lied either yesterday or you lied 3 weeks ago that Shah was going to go get the passport. But then, after Shah did not get the passport, then you said you canceled the passport. It serves no purpose to anybody. I'll get a new one. Shah is on her way to get a new passport. And that's going to cost you 20,000 pesos. Excuse me, $150. So that's 7,000, 8,000 pesos. Okay, say 10,000 pesos with travel. So that money just Shah's going to go get a passport. Shah went to get a passport. Shah's going to bring me back a passport. I don't need my passport anymore. You can keep the passport. But then she didn't have the passport. She didn't bring the passport back. Therefore, when she didn't bring the passport back, you said, if whoever has my passport, give me my passport so that Shah and I can get married, and then I'll give it back to you. Well, you know you're not going to do that. That's another lie. Because you need a passport to get an exit clearance, and you need a passport to get married. You got to have ID to get married. You don't have a driver's license. You don't have an ACR card. So you need a passport. You don't need a picture of a passport. You need a passport to get an NBI clearance to get married, if you need an NBI clearance. But you need an NBI clearance to get out of the country. So you didn't, that was another lie. Okay? You lied about Shah going to get the passport, then you lied about the passport being canceled, then you lied about, if you give me back the passport, I'll just use it to get married, which is not going to happen, and it could take a year to do that. And then if it doesn't take a year, it takes 3 months, you're still not going to give the guy the passport back because it had a stamp in it that said you went to Manila one time 7 years ago. This is the problem with you. And then we can't understand what you say because you slur your words. You make Ed Lippert sound like a political orator. And Ed Lippert speaks English well, but it's hard to understand him because he doesn't wear his teeth. But if he had his teeth in his mouth, I'm sure we could understand him. But with you, you talk double speed, Alabama slang, and you slur your words. You don't look at the camera when you're talking. You walk away from the camera, you move the camera goes on, live stream goes off for 45 seconds to a minute at a time. You're right in the middle of a sentence. My passport, what? And then the camera disappears. Put the camera on the table. Put the camera on the table. Put it on a stand. Put it on a beanbag. and don't move the camera, and then sit in front of the camera and talk. Then you disappear. You walk away from the camera for 45 seconds to a minute or 2 minutes. People don't show you, not going to show you the kind of respect that you want. You're not showing them any. You just walk away from the camera for 2 or 3 minutes and then come back and say, I'm back. You don't even excuse yourself. You're a trip, dude. You have no manners. You don't know how to speak slowly and clearly. You don't speak directly into the microphone. The one time that your speech was clear is when you put earbuds on. I suggest you wear the earbuds, put the phone on the desk, and don't move it around. Now, you will say, I don't have to listen to anything FAZIO says. No, you don't. But I have to do a show, and you're my show today. And my show is to help you, whether you want to take my word for it or not. When I read to you what's in this document, look at these. See this document here? See this? This is for the wrongful case that was filed against me. All of these pages, that's all it was. This only 8 videos were used against me, and to prove those 8 videos were not valid in a court of law, this is how much paper it generated. And the tissue paper is where the part I'm going to read to you. Okay? Dude, you need a lawyer. You better get it through your head that you need a lawyer. You better get it through your head that the judge is not going to listen to your worthless slang, Alabama slang, and you slurring your words, standing there like this with your hands, arguing a point. He's going to tell you to shut up, and that will be polite. He's going to tell you you need to get a lawyer, and that would be polite. He's going to tell you come back when you have a lawyer and set another date. He is not going to listen to your argument in a courtroom unless you have the legal words, legal jargon, and case histories like I'm going to read to you in a minute. This is all case history stuff. All of this is case histories. Why the documents are not valid. What day somebody else tried to use cyber libel and it wasn't accepted by a court of law. How come it wasn't accepted? Why was it not accepted? Was it recorded properly? You have none of that I have seen. You have a beautiful 33-page argument, not accompanied with law. Now, if you had a lawyer, you could put that argument, that 33-page argument, to law if the videos were recorded properly. But this is what you fail to understand. The videos have to be recorded properly. Because you say they're recorded properly doesn't mean they were. But not only that, the judge is not going to listen to you say that because he filed a case against you, you have 30 videos against him. And that his case should be thrown out because you have more videos against him. That's argument. Again, argument is not law. Argument is argument. Law is law. So, whether you like it or not, that's the law here. And this is not America. You don't get to talk to the judge. You're going to go, I have 30 videos against him. He threatened my life. The judge is going to listen to it, and the judge is going to say, that's a nice argument. I can't imagine him saying, Mr. BAMMA, but I have trouble with a judge calling you Mr. BAMMA. He might say, sir. But because of your silly argument, it's not going to be accepted in a court of law. It's not going to happen, dude. Now, I'm going to go to the comments, and then we'll talk about the law. Steve 25901 is in the house. Thank you for stopping by. This is me, says Barry cried wolf. Oh, let's turn this around. And that's another reason why no one is going to donate to him, because he used the money for things it was never meant to go to. Barry cried wolf one too many times. Even his longtime donors are done with him, it seems. And to answer that question, Barry, some of your donors, Timmy, I think it was, said that they would give money to your lawyer, but you refused to let the lawyer take direct deposits. Why is that? I have no idea. Why would you? Because you want the money. Because you want to buy $30 brisket dinners. That's my opinion. And you deserve to eat well. When you get home to America and you want to go, I think you said Arby's, you want to go to have Arby's roasted beef, that's a great sandwich. You deserve that, but right now you have better priorities. Now, if you're not working with the big egotizer, you better figure out how to get him on your side. Because originally, just last week, I heard you say you need between $5,000 and $6,000 US. And then 2 days ago, I think you said you need $8,000 US altogether. I don't know about that, but if you need a lawyer, you need $1,000 to defend against the 5 counts of cyber libel. You need $1,000 for the deposit for the lawyer, and then you need about $100 each time the lawyer goes to the court. And your court will probably be 5 to 8 court sessions. And I think my understanding is that right now, the holiday season, there are no more court dates before New Year's. So Popeye is probably jumping up and down, clicking his heels, knowing that his Christmas special is going to be special. Not far be it from me to talk about Popeye Christmas special, but I'm looking forward to it. Mike Dowdy's looking forward to it. Scott Del Fuego's looking forward to it. Louis Pagenpons is looking forward to it. Everybody's looking. So even, let's just say on the outset, you have to spend Christmas and, of course, New Year's in jail. Let's say that happens. What I suggest you do is set up a Christmas special donos for Barry behind bars. Here, you could even use this for your logo. Okay, you could use that for your Christmas donations special. You could have a special. Popeye could have a special. I could have a special. So if you want me, I will. If you send me an email on Facebook. I think we were connected a few years ago. Here, look at this. This is so cool. It doesn't have. It's not. Those people were making fun of you being in a gray bar inn. You are not in a gray bar inn, dude. You could say, I'm not in a gray bar inn. I'm in a black bar inn. Black bar inn. You could say those people were lying. They were lying. And you're in a black bar inn, not a gray bar inn. And you could laugh at them for lying about you being in a gray bar inn. Because you're not in a gray bar inn. If you use this logo, you're in a black bar inn. And a black bar inn is a much more powerful type of bar. Black bar, gray bar. Gray bar is like cold rolled steel. Black bar is carbon steel. You could say, I'm in a carbon steel bar. In not so far from the carbon market in Cebu. Carbon steel, Cebu carbon market. You could turn this into a Christmas extravaganza. Let's go back to the comments. Steve says, Steve says, the wolf who cried boy, The wolf who cried boy, says Steve 25901. The wolf that cried boy. CFD, I notice his lives, Barry lives in his own universe. It's the BAMMA-verse. After refusing the offer of my wife, that's where I saw you before. I know who you are now. CFD, a year ago, I remember you now. CFD, a year ago, offered his wife works for a district attorney. I remember now. And he was going to help you, and this goes back a full year, but my memory is now after, I only read the first sentence, after his wife was going to help you and you refused help. You refused her help. I remember, CFD. I remember. Let's go back over here. Barry lives in his own universe. After refusing the offer of my wife and her family's help, it proves he really has no idea or concept of reality. I think that woman worked somehow in some kind of court system. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I remember this man now, Barry. So this goes back. I offered you help 2 years ago. I offered you help a year ago. I offered to collect the monies for you and guaranteed you would get those monies. Matt T says, so this man that's saying that his wife offered help, that goes back a year to 14 months. Matt T says he certainly told Shah that if she marries him, he will get her to America. If he's blacklisted, this poor girl will be married forever to a guy she may never see again after the trial. That's argument. That's argument. That's not fact. But, you know what? You know what that deserves? That deserves a ding. For truth, justice, and the American way. There's a ding. There's a ding in that. We're not going to sing, but we're going to ding it. Ding it as, you know how when they ring a bell or truth, like a truth, we're going to ding Matt T's. But ready? Ready? Anytime someone says truth from now on, we're going to give them a free ding. Okay, you're all dinged up now. Okay. And what is wrong with, this is me. This is me says, and what is wrong with Barry? That he constantly farts. It is disgusting. But, well, here's your argument for that. Barry needs 8,000. Yes, that's what he said. Well, I'm good with numbers. You all know I'm good with numbers. Okay, so he does not need 3,000 US dollars until he leaves the country and wants to come back for the fine. But the fine is more than 3,000 now, because each month he has to pay $60 in fines and penalties, even though he's in detention. So even though he's in detention, so he needs that 3,000. He also needs $1,500 for a plane ticket, a one-way plane ticket back. So let's just start at $1,500 for a plane fare. He needs $1,000 to defend against the charges, and that will take about a year. I understand that the courts are booked up for for the holiday season, and the next court date to have the case heard about the video cyber libel is probably sometime in the first quarter of next year. That's what I heard. Now, I'm not sure about that, but that's just what I heard. So, your Popeye is going to have a Christmas special, and it'll be special, more special if you could give Popeye your blessings for his Christmas special. I don't know how you might be able to work a donation thing where you appear on Popeye's live stream. I could lend you. You know what? I tell you what, Barry. This is what I'll do. If you chat with Popeye on Facebook, then you look for a shirt. Tell Shah to go to Uki store. Look for a nice striped shirt like this, and you could appear in Popeye's Christmas special in a nice striped shirt. But you know what? You know what? Let's throw them off. Let's throw them off. Let's tell Shah to find a vertical shirt, vertical black striped shirt, so it looks like your logo that you're going to use for your Christmas specials. So you got the black bar in there, the black bar in, not the gray bar, and you got a black. You get a black and white. You get a black and white shirt, but not with the shirt. You get the stripes vertical to match your logo. You want to look good for your Christmas special. And then you go on Popeye's show. Tell her to go to the kids department and get a set of manacles too. Go do the thing. Do the right thing. Look, see? Look, see the manacles? Where's the manacles? Hold on a minute. Yeah, you see the manacles? You want a pair of manacles, and you want a black shirt with vertical black and white stripes. And you get a pair of manacles, and if you really want to go for the gusto, you become part of Popeye's show, you get a pair of ankle manacles as well. But get the ones, you know what they do have? I got an idea. They got pink. I knew a girl. She had pink. She lives in Europe. I never met her. She's on YouTube. She used to do soft S&M stuff. And she had this pink handcuffs that were made out of like fluffy things, like flowers, but they were pink, like a pink fuzzy ball. And she wore them on the show. That was her show. She wore that stuff. You get a pair of those, and you wear the vertical black and white stripes, and you wear the pink manacles like that. And you go on Popeye's show for a Christmas special for donations. And then you tell her, like, look, okay, that I'm like government, I'm here to help. So, moving on. I'm almost ready to start reading that stuff. He needs the $3,000 to come back into the Philippines. He needs $1,500 to get a ticket. So let's just start at 1,500. He needs $1,000 for the lawyer, and say it's going to be another $1,000 if this case is dragged out over another year. So you need $2,000 and $1,500. That's $2,500. You're going to need food for the next year. I don't know how much that is. And you're going to need, so just say $1,000 for food over the next year. That's $3,500. And then you also, so you need a minimum of, let's say, 4,000 US dollars, 200,000 pesos. Now, you say you have a lawyer, but you said yesterday that the lawyer that you retained, you gave 36,000 pesos to, but a year ago, you showed a receipt for 36,000 pesos, but you said you had to give the lawyer 65,000 pesos. So you never did give the lawyer the other 30,000 pesos that you collected for the lawyer. So you collected the full amount of money for the lawyer, but only gave the lawyer 36,000 pesos. So on that 2,500 that you definitely need, and another 1,000 for food, 3,500, you still need another 500 to pay off the lawyer. That would be $4,000. But that lawyer that you hired was for the cyber libel case that you had against your adversary. That lawyer was not for immigration, and he was not your advocate against the cyber libel case. That lawyer, that case, that 65,000 pesos was for a lawyer for your case against your adversary. So we're going to dismiss that money. You still need another $1,000 for a lawyer for your adversary's 5 counts of cyber libel. Now you need $5,000 plus the $3,000 once you get to America to come back. So you actually need right now today, CW, big egotizing agent of Cebu, Barry needs $5,000. And we'll go through the numbers really quick. $1,500 for an airline ticket, that you need. You need $1,000 to fight the cyber libel case now, a lawyer, and $1,000 for the rest of the sessions in court. That's $2,000 plus $1,500. That's $3,500 US. You need $1,000 for food. That's $4,500 US. Minimum. That's what you need. So he needs, let's just round it off to $5,000 because you have transportation to the court and back from the court. Shah has transportation back and forth to see you. You're gonna want a nice dinner, at least brisket for Christmas, right? Your friends will probably bring you that. And you also, but let's just say it's only $4,500. You want to get married? John Blaze knows how much the service fees to get married are probably $500 or more. Between transportation going back, getting the judge. So you need $4,000. That's guaranteed. But $5,000 would make things smooth. And then $3,000, of course, when you get back to America and get a job and start traveling around the country, you'll be back in the black, so to speak, but not black bars. Not black bars. Sans the manacles. Sans the manacles. So black bars and manacles for Christmas, you're going to need money to buy that. You're going to need money to buy the manacles. You're going to need money to get a nice black bar shirt. You got to get a load every week. That's $10 a month. For 10 months, that's another $100 for another year, because you'll be there for a year. Let's go back up to the comments. $8,000 DNC, LOL. DNC, you're not helping here at all. You're not like the government. Steve said he should record a country album. I'm sure it would be a big seller. That's the one thing that Barry is good at, singing. He's got a memory for words. He can sing an entire song. Barry, maybe that's a great idea. As a joke, Steve said it. But you can remember every word and the intonations of every word from certain songs. Maybe you should do a country album. That might be something that would earn some money. Call it Call it the Black Bar Inn. Country music, baby. I'm in the Black Bar Inn. I have committed a Filipino sin. If you want me to win, send me some of that green money sin. I'm in the Black Bar Inn. My name is Black Bart Barry. I'm in the Black Bart Inn. I need some of that green sin with the US dollar denominations on it. Send me some of that green sin whilst I'm in the Black Bar Inn. Like to see those other bloggers try to make up a song on the fly like that, baby. I'm a singer. I'm a good singer, right? I'm in the Black Bar Inn. Barry, that's a great, you can do this, Barry. You might, who knows? Who knows, you could make $1 million. Black Bart, and you could, but my idea, the name, Black Bart. Black Bart in the Black Bart Inn. Black Bar. Black Bar Inn. Black Bart in the Black Bar Inn. By Michael Thomas Fazio. See, like the government, I'm here to help. Oh boy. Let's have a little fun. Barry always said his Gcash. Oh, wait. Barry always said his Gcash number. Now he says it's Shah's Gcash number. He knows no one will send him money. Nobody, yeah, well, that whole concept of sending Barry money is out the window. And if you'll notice, the bars will allow those ideas to fall through the window. Manacles in the Black Bar Inn. Send me some of the dollar denominations sin. If you think I don't need your donos, then don't sell me any donos. Yeah, Barry, you could learn a lot from Steve 25901. When I think of a dancing elf, I think of DNC. I think of a man named DNC who works on helicopter electronics when I think of DC, a very high and prestigious position in the United States Air Force. Not an easy thing, not with a lot of responsibilities. That's what I think. DNC, see, Barry can, imagine Barry does the Black Bar Inn. I'm in the Black Bar Inn. My name is Barry. I have sinned. I'm a sinner, but I'm a winner. That'd be something he would say. I'm a sinner, but I'm a winner. I'm in the Black Bar Inn. I get free rent. I get free board. And when I get bored, I get free potato chips. Like that, Barry. Black and white stripes. Protective custody inmates wear orange. I'm not real sure about any of that, Matt. Barry said a while ago his grandfather left him a house, but he cannot sell it as it was written in the will, and now says he has a lot of money waiting for him back in the States. That's true, though. He does have money. So that's another thing. Oh, God, that Social Security. Nobody believes that you're not getting Social Security. First of all, you were so far away from getting back to America. Why would you turn off your Social Security and send it? Okay, so we have some ideas here. So you said you transferred your Social Security to go to an American bank account. You said that. Barry said that. And then But he said he didn't have a debit or credit card to get it, because I said you need, if you had a debit card or a credit card, you could use it here, your debit card. Then you said just last 3 or 4 days ago that you had a debit card here in the Philippines. You trusted Shah with your credit card or debit card, whatever it was. So you either have one or you don't have one. And if you do have one and you transferred the money to your bank account in America, then you have access to that money, which makes one of those two stories a lie and the other one is truthful. Either you have a bank. Now, your Social Security, I looked into this. For you, I looked into this. If you transferred your money back into your Social Security account in America, there has to be a way for you to call up the bank and allow your mother to get that money for you. There has to be a way. I mean, you could be in a hospital and she has to get that money for you. I don't understand. But let's just say the Social Security was cut off. It's only stopped 6 months from now, a year and a half from now, in theory, 2 years from now, when you get back to America, and you go to the doctor, when you could have went to a doctor in Manila. See, this is another story. Hey, we go again. Could have went to a doctor. I'm going to a doctor in Manila. There's a doctor in Manila. Now I'm going to go to the doctor. So 3 years from now, in 3 years, when you get out of jail, and you go back to America, they may be accruing. You said the money is accruing in your bank account. You said that too. You say a lot of stuff. Okay, so either the money is accruing and you should be able to pull it out with your debit card, because I can, not yours, but mine. So if you have money accruing in a bank account, your mother should be able to get it for an emergency. You should be able to sign something over to her, especially now that you have a passport. I don't know, Barry. I'm trying to help you. But let's just say your mother can't get it. 4 years from now, when you get out of jail, and then you get back to America in 4 years, that would be 2028, let's say. Let's not jump the gun here for 2023. It's almost over. So 5 years from now, in 2029, when you get out of jail, you'll have 5 years of accrued deposits. Now, originally you said you got $500, but then this week you laughed about having $500. You get a lot more than that. So in 6 years from now, in 2030, when you get out of jail, you can show everybody that you have 6 years accrued checks, how much they were for. We could just do the simple math, divided by 7 years. 7 times 12 is 84. We'll just divide your total money that you have 7 years from now when you get out of jail. We'll divide the money that's in your bank account by 84 months. So let's say you have $8,400. That's $100 a month. So when you get out of jail in 2031, that'll be 9 months from now. That'll be 108 months. Whatever money that you have 9 years from now when you get out of jail in the Philippines, we'll divide that money by 108 and we'll know how much money you were getting a month. Now, I don't know if you're going to be in jail for 3 years or 1 year or 9 years. I was just trying to give you options. If you do Popeye's Christmas special with the bars and the stripes in the Black Bar Inn and the manacles with the little pink tassels on them, you could make, and you do a country western, I'm in the Black Bar Inn. You could make a fortune. I could be giving you an idea that makes you $1 million. You don't know. You don't know. And like the government, I'm here to help. You know that. So let's go back over here. Hold on. Why is it not going? Oh, it's going. DNC. Oh, I could see some. Steve, can't he send money to himself through Western Union using an American bank routing numbers? If he has a bank account, if he's telling the truth. Barry, where did the money go for your Social Security to begin with? See, that's another story. If you had a bank account here, which you don't, no, I don't believe you ever set up a bank account here. But if you did, where did the money? See, nobody knows. Only you know. You know what? You know what it's like asking Barry Jordan a question. It's like for the people that are my age and are close to my age. Remember the Magic 8-Ball, which is really close when you think about Barry Jordan. The Magic 8-Ball. When you shook up the Magic 8-Ball like this, you shook it up. And on the bottom there was a little red window, and it said yes or no or maybe or it's possible. Remember the Magic 8-Ball? Asking Barry Jordan a question. I think that's what he does inside his head. He does a magic, and then whatever pops into that little window in his head. Because that's what it's like asking you a question, Barry. People have tried to help you. Steve is trying to help you. Here, look, see this thing here, Barry? Look, let me show you something. Barry. Steve just happens that I can't show you. Look, Barry. See that number there? See that number there? That's part of a routing number. You can write out a check to yourself. And if you have checks, if you have a bank account and you have checks, you can write out a check to yourself. And this is my vaccination card. This is my passport. See, you got to keep track of this stuff. It's hard to do that from the Hooskow, from the Black Bar Inn. It's hard to do all that. But Steve is right. If you had a proper bank account and you had a proper bank manager. It's hot in here today. 100% humidity. If you had a proper bank account and you had a proper bank manager, you should be able to write out a check to yourself. But that would mean you'd have to have a checkbook with you. And maybe Shaw's Bank could take it. That's an idea. I don't know how that would work. And I could call up my agent, but I don't have to talk to her about anything. So I'm not going to do that for you because you refuse to say my name. And I'm trying to help you here, dude. You refuse to say my name. People say FAZIO is working, helping you. And you, that guy. Nobody has helped you as much as, well, one more person has helped you. And I have helped you a little bit. Your other friend with the videos, he helped you. But now no one seems to be working with you because you already got, you've received, how much money, seriously, have you received in the last few years? 500,000 pesos that you pissed away on alcohol, food. I'm going to get me a marble steak. I don't eat marbleized steak. I don't eat T-bones. I could if I want, but I don't want. But I'm going to get me a Wagyu steak. You pissed that money away on absolutely worthless endeavors. I'm going to get you just wasted that money. That's why people won't send you money, because you have to spend it as fast as you get it. There's something called savings. Anyway, I don't want to try to teach you economics, because the name of the title is Barronomics. Barronomics. Okay, so DNC says Shah using that debit card to pay people to keep Barry in the... Ah, God. Oh, that's not funny. I heard him claim that they cut off his Social Security because he didn't go for an annual checkup. But he hasn't been... He said he was supposed to go to an annual checkup 4 years ago. I remember him saying he had to go to an annual checkup, and it was in Manila. I remember he said that. Now, I don't know if anything about that, but I remember him saying he had to go to an annual checkup 3 years ago or 4 years ago. They were going to cut it off, and maybe they did, but they didn't cut it off then. And they probably, maybe now they said, well, enough is enough, okay? Enough is enough. You have to go to Manila. And that's something you said, well, if this guy didn't file the cyber libel charges against me, I would have went to Manila and got all this sorted out. You had no intention of going to Manila. Otherwise, you would have went. Well, you had no money to get there. So this is another. Next comment. That's true, Mate. LOL DNC. DNC, FAZIO, LOL, keeps adding... I didn't think anybody noticed. Thank God I stopped, otherwise he'd be in jail for eternity. He said recently he gets $60,000 for 2 months. That's $600 a month. $30,000 monthly. That's $600 a month. That's really close to minimum, actually. But that's better than nothing. Let's see. Wow, a windfall. Well, that's... somebody like Barry... Okay, so not with his grade 5-star lifestyle. I hate to use that term, Barry, but you had a 5-star lifestyle. You spent 10,000 pesos a month on cigarettes. I figured it out. Remember, I've been doing math for you for a long time. 3 packs a day, 330 pesos a day for cigarettes 3 years ago. 3 years ago, 330 a day times 30 is 9,900, 10,000 pesos a month, and the dollar was 50 pesos. So that was 200 a month you spent on cigarettes. Another 100 a month you spent on soda, only soda. You used to buy 8 or 10 of those little 8-ounce jars of Coke at Phil's place, or that whatever that fella's place was. So you were spending 100 pesos a day on soda in the little bottles. And that comes out to 3,000 pesos a month just for those little sodas. Then, of course, you were buying big bottles of soda at night and rum, and you were doing something called white magic, or it was $30 a bottle, whatever it was, and that would last you a week. So that's another 5,000 a month for booze, and 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 for soda and snacks. That was $400 a month on snacks, booze, cigarettes only. Add a 600, and you had to pay 200 for rent. That left you with nothing at the end of the month. Plus, you were begging for 1,000 a month. Sometimes you were getting $500 a month from PA Trucker. You were getting something, not every time, but 100, 200 here, $50 there. CW was dropping a nickel on you, a big nickel on you every once in a while. You just squandered that money. So now that's Barronomics. Barronomics is that you have to do much better with your savings and your collections. I don't know what to tell you, man. If I really, I make a joke out of it, but you need to learn how to budget your money. And buying all that crap that you bought to eat, and you think that's food. Let me explain this to you, Mr. Barry Lee Jordan. The crap that you put on your shelf to eat. Where's my phone? Here it is, right here. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to show you what a waste of money. How much money you wasted, okay? On that crap you have on your shelf. That's what you wanted for food. Okay, yesterday, I was in the store. Day before yesterday. Oh, man. Hold on a minute. 90 pesos for a bag, a bag of chips. 90 pesos. So 90 times 2 equals 180 US cents. About. The bag of chips was 130 grams. Divided by 130 equals 1.4. So you were paying 1.4 cents for each gram of potato chips. Now, there's 28 grams. People believe there's 27 grams in an ounce, but it's actually 27.6. So if you're ever buying an ounce of something, it's 27.6, I think it is. So let's take this number and times it by 27.6 equals. That's 38 cents. You're paid 38 cents an ounce for potato chips. For junk food, you paid 38 cents an ounce. But let's take that and times it by 16. 38 times 16 equals 608 cents. So 600 cents, that's $6 a pound you paid for potato chips. This is what I mean that you don't know how to spend your money. $6 a pound. Now, there's 2.2 pounds in a kilo. So let's times that, times 2.2. 608 times 2.2 equals 1,337 cents divided by 100. $13 a pound, $13 a kilo you are paying for potato chips. $13 a kilo. And you know how much lean pork is per kilo? I will show you. I think I have the receipt here. Man, I threw it out. Lean pork is 300 pesos per kilo. Lean pork, that's lean pork, no fat. You buy a 5 kilo piece. So 13 a kilo for potato chips, moron. And then Lean Point is 300 pesos. That's 600. That's 600 pesos. So you could buy, all right, so let's 600 pennies is 1 kilo. So divide this by 2. Divide this by 2. So it equals 2 kilos. You're paying $13 for 2 kilos when you can buy you're paying $13 a kilo for potato chips when you can buy 2 kilos of lean pork. You buy junk food at twice the price of lean pork. Now, if you don't buy lean pork, you can get pork bellies and pork fat for 200 pesos. You could buy 3 kilos of pork with fat for the same price you paid for 1 kilo of potato chips, and potato chips have no nutritional value. This is why you have no money, because you don't understand how to spend your money wisely. Now, I could look for the receipt, but either way, lean pork is 300 pesos, and you're paying $13 a kilo for potato chips when you could be buying 2 kilos of lean pork or 3 kilos of just pork. This is Nomics. You don't know how. What a waste of money. It serves no nutritional value for you. It doesn't keep you healthy. It hurts your heart. It hurts your skin. It hurts. Well, we could see what it did to your brain. It didn't do anything for your brain at all. Otherwise, you wouldn't be buying that crap. You know what? Let me tell you, the last time I had a potato chip was in May, when I took Daisy May and her sister and the sister's baby, to the Lobach River Cruise. I had about 8 or 10 potato chips. And I like potato chips more than you do. But I don't eat them anymore because it's a junk food. Plus, I'm on a diet. Plus, I'm losing weight. Plus, my blood pressure was over the top. And now my blood pressure is like 121/82. Because I don't eat that crap anymore. But you are spending twice as much money for potato chips than you could buy for pork. Lean pork. And lean pork is delicious. You are spending your money foolishly, dude. Now, I got to get back to the comments here. DNC says, LOL. FAZIO keeps adding a year. I do stuff like that. I actually do that in real life. When I'm talking to somebody, I'll change one word in a sentence when I'm talking to somebody, and then if they don't catch it, I walk away because they're not smart enough for me to have a conversation with. I heard him, this is me, says, okay, we read that. Wow, a windfall. Matt T's being facetious. Filipino judge going to tell him to come back after he learns English. They're not, well, they will just simply tell him he needs to have a lawyer. I don't know how they'll say it, but he needs a lawyer. Then we're going to read I'll give him an idea of what it sounds like to have law rather than argument. Virgie, I remember her. That was the heavy-set lady. Yeah, see, this is why no one likes you, Barry. Okay, people don't like me either. Don't make any mistake. I'm not claiming any trophies here for people to love me. But Virgie put up 2 concrete fence posts in front of her little domain for you. So you, Barry Lee Jordan, could put the motorcycle behind a gate. She did that for you. The landlord did that for you. She didn't do it for her. She was perfectly happy with the open thing. But you wanted the dogs to stay out. You wanted a gate for your motorcycle. So she spent $500. And they put the posts up. And when they had to be skinned, the forms had to come off. We call it taking the skins off. For those of us that have worked for a living, when she took the skins off the posts, she was dealing with nails and splintered wood and wood that was all shredded. And you sat there in your chair, you lazy bastard that you are, and you watched her take the skins off with the nails, and you watched her walk the skins away with the nails sticking out all over everything, and you just watched her. What kind of a man would let a woman work like that without offering assistance? None of that stuff could have weighed more than 5 or 6 or 7 pounds. And you didn't even help Virgie. Do you think she looked at you like you were a man after that? She looked at you like you were less than a man. I'm assured of that. My mother would have helped her if my mother saw her working like that. My mother would go out into the garden and fill up 3 trash bags of vines and clippings and leaf debris and rake. She'd spend a whole day outside and the next day too. My mother was a working woman. You watched a woman take 5-pound skins off of a concrete pillars that they put up to protect your motorcycle and never offered her any assistance, claiming that I have a bad back, otherwise I'd help her. No, Barry, you're a lazy person. You're lazy is what you are. You're lazy in everything that you do. Don't even attempt to say that you're not, because you are. Everything has to be done for you. My wife, my future wife, she did your laundry. But you could have did your laundry too. You don't work. She would work all week and then come and do your laundry. You're a lazy man, Barry. And I'm not knocking you down, because in 11 years from now, when you get out of jail, by that time you'll learn how to do laundry, and you won't be dropping the soap in the laundry room, that's for sure. Okay, so Scott Del Fuego. Open your mouth and close your eyes. Oh boy, wordsmithing. Open your mouth and close your eyes. You had to remind me of Virgie, right? I was doing so good. He did it too. It's not a valid defense. That's true. Yeah, but it doesn't matter that the other guy may or may not have done that. It's not a valid defense unless a lawyer presents it as law. So let's go. Open your mouth and close your eyes. Michael Fazio never lies. Whoa. He tells the truth about YouTube foes, so they all get mad and their hatred grows. Oh yeah, I don't care if Barry gets pissed off at me. Not one bit. I've tried to help him so many times that at this point, this is just fun. Barry did pay for that. He says she's taking care of him now, paying for everything. What a catch he is. Barry did pay for that. He says she is taking care of him now. I don't know what you're talking about. Laundry or the fence? The fence he could not have paid for because it's part of the house. And even if he paid her to do his laundry, why didn't he do it himself? What do you think? It's hard to do laundry? It takes about 5 minutes a day. Anyway, moving on. I need to sell Barry a bag of potatoes. I'd get like $120. Yeah, that's another thing. For potato chips, it's junk food. It's pure junk food. Let me show you what I do, okay? You read the comments. Let me get my I'll show you what I do, okay? With the pork. I'm gonna look for the receipt too. I have a receipt. Wrong one. Yeah, I threw that other receipt out. Oh, you know what? I may have put it in my bag. No, I did not. Okay, the receipt is gone. Okay, this is what I do with the pork. I buy 2 kilos or 3 kilo pieces, and then I chop it up into chunks, and then I freeze it. But I put a little bit of patis, fish sauce. That's what I like. Garlic and lemon juice. And then I freeze it. Now, I know you don't have a refrigerator, but I don't buy hamburgers on the street or junk food, or especially fried chicken from those little stores. 30 pesos they want for a little chicken breast. I think it's worth 30 pesos. A cup, it's worth the 30 pesos, but it's junk food. It's just some junk, the cheapest fried oil. I won't eat that crap anymore. I'm on a diet, remember? A diet that everybody said I would never do it, and then now look at me. When I went on my diet, this shirt was like this. I'm not kidding you. Remember when I went on my diet? And this belly here touched the wood like that. Remember that? That was 80 days ago. My belly touched the wood like that, remember? Now I lean back against the same table, and I can put 3 fingers between my belly and the wood. Not only can I put the 3 fingers between the belly and the wood, but I am 15 inches I lost off my waist. 15 inches. And 34 kilos at this point right now. So, I don't eat that stuff because it's garbage. I don't eat that stuff because it's no good for my blood pressure. I don't eat that stuff because at the end of the day, it's cheaper for me to cook by 10 times. Now, if I want to go out for dinner, I go out for dinner. But I don't eat junk food or street food. You're eating garbage, dude. Garbage. And that's another reason why people won't give you money. So let me let you look at the comments for a minute, and then I gotta put this away. So I know you don't have a refrigerator, but you're eating junk. Now, nobody's gonna, I wouldn't, I had rules when I had men that worked for me. They would ask me to buy them cigarettes. I would tell them no. I bought cigarettes. I bought him a pack of cigarettes every day for 17 or 18 years. And a 6-pack of Budweiser beer. A 6-pack of Budweiser every day he worked for me at the end of the day, and a pack of cigarettes every day. And that's because I grew up with Bobby since we were 5 years old. And then anybody else that wanted me to buy cigarettes or beer, no. Once in a while, once a month, I'd go into the bar and drop $50 on the bar, $100 on the bar at Christmas time only. and then buy the men, put $100 on the bar and give them a tab. But I didn't do that every day, and they didn't deserve to have it done every day. And I bought everybody coffee and a roll in the morning, most of the time, that most of the men that work for me. But I wouldn't buy them junk food. And on Friday, they got pizza. But I didn't buy junk food. Somebody would say, get me a pack of cigarettes. I said, you get it yourself. No smoking in the car, no smoking in the truck. Get it yourself if you want cigarettes or beer. At the end of the day, no smoking on the job. I had rules. So I don't eat that garbage. It's garbage. And you're spending money on garbage, and you want people to give you more money so you can buy more garbage. People look at little things like that, Barry. They look at little things like that and they say, why am I going to... This guy is eating potato chips that are $1 an ounce. Why? That's cheap potato chips. $1 an ounce. A 16-ounce bag of potato chips is $12 in the Philippines. Where's my calculator? 16-ounce bag of potato chips is $12. I'm going to go to the comments in just less than 30 seconds. Let's say $12 divided by 16 equals, that's 75 cents an ounce. And times that by 16. That's 12. You can buy meat for the price of potato chips. Actually, it's a little bit more, 625 pesos. So either way, you can buy meat for less money than you're paying for potato chips, and pork for half of that price. Barry Jordan, you're a trip, dude. You are a trip. I'm trying to help you here. I hope you get that. Matt says 1.5 years. Don't be DNC. LOL. 11 years. Virgie was very nice. He should have stayed there. I don't know. Oh, come on, man. How could you want to watch somebody spit on the floor? He would be at the table and he just spit on the floor, wipe it on. Come on. Get real, Steve. There was reasons he had to leave there. I don't know what the reason was. Okay, let's go back up to the comments. Guys, you sat there and you spit. Here's another thing that you did there. And I used to drive me crazy. When he would open up the refrigerator door, the ice box door, to get ice out of the ice box, and he would leave the door open and walk over to the table and break off a piece of ice into his glass, into his beer mug, and then walk back to the ice box a minute, 2 minutes later. He would leave the door to the refrigerator open while he went to the table to break off a piece of ice. You would do that one time in my house. You would do that one time. I would watch you do it one time. The second time you did that, I would ask you to leave, because she was paying the electric bill. You used to leave all the lights on in the apartment because she was paying the electric bill. You used to leave all the lights on in the kitchen area because she was paying the electric bill. You used to leave the water running because she was paying the electric bill. Nobody wants you to live like that if they're paying the electric bill and the water bill. Dude, you got a lot to learn about, how to save money. And you're still young enough to learn. And if you want, you can pay me and I'll teach you. And let's see, it's 2020, let's just say it's 2024, and 12 is 2036. Man, I got to tell you, I'm going to be 80 years old when you get out of jail. But I'll still know this knowledge. When you get out of jail, I'll be 80. Maybe you could, throw some money my way and I'll teach you how to save money in 2036. Imagine that. DNC, yeah, Matt, 11, 12 years is a long time. Scott says, no willpower and total impulsiveness is what leads. No willpower and total impulsiveness is what leads the underclass to stay the underclass. That's right. Yesterday, Barry, yes, you know what I did yesterday? Since I took Daisy and her sister out for helping me when I had my operation, at that time I had the Lobach River Cruise, and I had many other good foods that week. That was the last time I went out for food, except one other time I went out for food. And then last week I bought pizza for the people at the iPhone stop. But I don't go out that much. Now, if I have a date, that'd be different. I'd go out. I have money to go out with, but I rather cook my own meals. But yesterday I wanted a hamburger. So I stopped off to get a hamburger, 2 hamburgers. And I said to the lady, do you have, because I know they're not big, do you have, I want the 2 hamburgers and French fries, please. So we have no cheese. I wanted cheeseburgers. We have no cheese. I says, okay, when do you have cheese? Maybe tomorrow. I said, well, okay, I'll come back. So my willpower is I wanted a cheeseburger and they didn't have cheese, but I still want a hamburger. But they didn't have cheese. But I want a cheeseburger. That's willpower. I could have caved in. She told me we don't have cheese, but we have eggs. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, we'll put eggs on your hamburger. I said, but I want cheese. We have no cheese, so come back tomorrow. Out of stock. That's willpower. I want cheeseburger. And that's what I want on my hamburger, cheeseburger. Now, it wasn't a big deal. I just didn't get a cheeseburger. But if I go back tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to want a cheeseburger. I might want something else. Not the point. The point is that I wanted a cheeseburger and they didn't have cheese. She should have went to the store, said, come back in 20 minutes, I'll get cheese. But she didn't do that. Anyway, Scott's right about the underclass. Barry Song, Matt says. Let's see, Matt says. It's like the Allman Brothers song, I Got 13 Lovely Children. Never heard. I like the Allman Brothers and I listened to them a lot in 1973 on the way down to Florida and when I was in Florida and coming back from Florida, because that album was famous and we drove down there, but I don't remember anything after that. I wouldn't buy an Allman Brothers album. Steve, only good thing about being in detention for 11 years. Oh, look at this. Yeah, look at this. Oh, the only good thing about being in detention for 11 years is he will miss both Michelle Obama's administrations. She might run for president, too, next time around. Truth, Scott Del Fuego. And DNC is an Air Force licensed mechanic to install avionics in aircraft. He knows about discipline. He says he doesn't smoke anymore, but vapes like crazy. Probably worse. I've only seen him vape twice, and vaping is worse for your lungs than cigarette smoke. But, coming up. Oh, that's right. You know what? What's today's date? Do you know that in 14 days, it will be 3 years since I had a cigarette? 3 years. Not even one poke off a cigarette. One toke, one inhale. Not one in 3 years, in 14 days. LOL Scott. It's from Steve. It's like when your poor people get a windfall. No interesting, no investing, but they will have some flashy rims on their junk car within a week. That's true. They call that, or they have a name for that in New York, but I'm not allowed to say that name. So, absolutely. And they will all justify every criminal and shady, stupid action by explaining how they needed something. That's true, too. It's an amazing thing. Oh, what happened to my comments? What happened? Show the chat. Okay. Grown men. I see the word grown men. Grown men. It's like when poor people get a windfall, no investing, shiny rims on a junk car. Yes, sir. DNC, words of wisdom. Absolutely. And they will all justify every criminal and shady and stupid action by explaining how they needed something. That's true. Just a dumb, ignorant rube, R-U-B-E, who's undoubtedly under pressure of being the success of the family. Now Matt made it funny. They will suffer from generational trauma. Yeah, this world is going to it's a shame what's going on in this world. That's for sure, Steve. Grown men live on chips, soda, and alcohol. Grown men. That's why you look so healthy, Barry. Barry says he wishes he has his Xbox, but you can clearly hear him click the controller. What about that? I don't know. You know what? This is me. Okay, so I actually talked to one of my cousins recently that was probably back in the 80s the best gamer that I knew. I talked about him before. And my friend George, they played together. I asked him today, does he play games? He goes, no, I don't play games anymore. Totally worthless endeavor. He goes, what benefit is there of playing a game? He reads, he has hobbies, he does other things. And Barry doesn't have any hobbies. Hey, Barry, maybe you could take up basket weaving. They do that. You could make hats. Shaw could put them in her shop. You could make, and then you could do rap songs about the hats you make in the Black Bar Inn. I make hats in the Black Bar Inn 'cause I have committed an immigration sin. I make hats in the Black Bar Inn. I make hats in the Black Bar Inn. I make hats. I make hats in the Black Bar Inn 'cause I have because I have committed an immigration sin. Barry, like the government, Barry, I'm here to help. Yeah, I remember that refrigerator that got repossessed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, remember how he said that was his refrigerator? Another lie. This is my refrigerator. I bought this refrigerator. I let everybody else use it. And 6 months later, it was getting repossessed. Yeah, don't remind me of stuff like that. I don't want to go off on another tangent. Come on, guys. Give Barry a break. It's an injustice what has happened to him. He's the finest American I know. Free Barry. Oh, free Barry. Let's get Barry out of the Black Bar Inn. Barry didn't commit any sin. He has learned his lesson well. He's behind the black barb in bell. Let's ring a bell. Ringing a bell is what I do when I say something that is very true. He's in the black bar in. Black bar in. He's in the. So let's get back to the comments. How many times does that 33-page document have the phrase this, that, and the other? I don't know. I read it once. Do you think Barry will join the dance team in Bickerton? That's trolling me now. Free the Alabama bat. The Alabama bat. Whoa. And talking about the Alabama bat, let's get the Alabama bat up there on the screen while I get the paperwork out to read the proper way to fight a case in the Philippines against false accusations. Oh man, what happened to that? Okay, so here it is right here. Okay. So here's what you're going to need to do, Barry. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have a lawyer to file something called an opposition for reconsideration, a motion for reconsideration, opposition to the. Okay? You're going to need an opposition to the motion for reconsideration. Now, I'm going to read it to you. This is what your lawyer's going to have to write, because you can't write it. In his desperate moves to reverse the resolution of the Honorable Provincial Prosecutor, the private complainant attempts to supplement the missing elements of cybercrime. Okay, so let me read it. This would be about your adversary. So, in his desperate moves to reverse the resolution of the Honorable Provincial Prosecutor dated July 4th. Now, this is the second paper. We had to go to court. We had to write two motions of a motion of consideration and a motion of reconsideration. Your first motion of consideration is what you're going to have to write to your adversary's lawyer, and then that's going to have to be reviewed by a judge or a provincial prosecutor to accept it or not accept it. But this is the kind of words. Barry, you got to listen to this because you need to learn this. So I'll read this whole paragraph. The number one, in desperate moves to reverse the resolution of the Honorable Provincial Prosecutor dated July 2022, the private complainant attempts to supplement the missing elements of cybercrime, in quotes, by presenting three witnesses, namely witness 1, 2, and 3, allegedly defaming a person of the private complainant. But all of those witnesses stated in their respective affidavits that we were told by said person that there was cyber libel crime committed. And he asked us to watch several videos. Okay, so right there, the case was dismissed. And the reason is because a person asked other people to watch the cybercrimes video. Now, you can use this because when your adversary says that he showed videos to certain said people, and they did not see them on their own, that those don't count. So that's the kind of legal jargon that a lawyer would see. Now, if it was anybody else, they would say, well, they watched them. He said watch them. They agree there was people in the video that said certain things, and then therefore it must be true. But no, the law says that the persons that are witnessing have to have seen them themselves on social media without someone asking them to review the videos. Because at that point, the person that showed the videos to the witnesses became the person that published the videos on social media so the so-called witnesses could see them. So that person that published the videos for other people to watch was actually the person that committed a crime by publishing videos that did not belong to that person. Now, I would have never figured that out. Nobody I know would have figured that out. But because those are the law, the lawyers know this stuff. So, if he has videos that you said something, and then he says, I had a witness, when did the person see the videos? What did they write? That they saw the videos? Did they write that your adversary told them about the videos? Well, then they don't count. The testimony doesn't count, and the videos don't count. But that's the law in the Philippines. Now, I got 3 more pages of stuff like that. There's 3 more pages of law to say why the videos should be thrown out. And at the end of the day, all right, another page, another comment. Okay, so the first element of cybercrime is it must be defamatory, and that the statements made by the respondent in his YouTube video has to be the person's face, and that person has to have a YouTube channel. So now it says an allegation is considered defamatory if it ascribes to a person the commission of a crime. A crime, not calling somebody a dumbass like you call somebody a dumbass. That's not a crime. If it ascribes a person to the commission of a crime. So your adversary says that you call them a dumbass. Not a crime. You're right about that. But you may have said something that is a crime. A lawyer is going to know the difference between a crime and calling somebody a dumbass. Defamation includes libel and slander, both. It has to meet a certain set of criteria. The second element is it must be malicious. Did you say you're a dumbass and laugh about it? Or did you say you're a dumbass and mean it in a malicious manner? That's going to be determined when they look at the video. But if you never said, I'm going to cut your throat or anything like that, if you never said that, I'm going to your house, and if you never said that, then you never said it. And if your face wasn't in the video, then you could say, I never said that. But I think your face was in the video. I'm not sure about that. So, now, as to the element of malice, we find that since on its face the article is defamatory, there is a presumption that the offender acted with malice. But that was never proven. And here's your problem, Barry. In Article 354 of the same code, okay, the Supreme Court, I could show this to you. No, I'm not going to show it to you because you don't mention my name. I'm not going to show it to you. You refuse to mention my name, that I'm helping you, with your food problems, with your math problems. You refuse to do that. Oh, I'm not going to show you I'm not even going to read. I'm going to read the Article 354, but I'm not going to tell you because you refuse to mention my name. Thank you for that. The Supreme Court ruled that in the case of Barry versus the people, number 1597826902501, May 25th, 1901. As to the element of malice, we find that since on its face the article is defamatory, there is presumption that the offender acted with malice. But in Article 354 of the same code, every defamatory imputation is presumed to be malicious, even if it be true. Even if it be true, it's presumed to be malice. That's your problem, dude. Whether it's true or not, you're not allowed to say it. In Article 354 of the same code, every defamatory imputation is presumed to be malicious, even if it be true, if no good intention and justifiable motive for making it is shown. There is malice when the author of the imputation, that would be you. There is malice when the author of the imputation is prompted by personal ill will or spite and speaks not in response to duty, but merely to injure the reputation of the person who claims to have been defamed. Emphasis on the underscored supplied words. Unequivocally stated by the law and jurisprudence, a defamatory statement is presumed to be malicious. When a statement is defamatory, then without needing to present any evidence, it is deemed malicious. Dude, you need a lawyer. I don't know how to say it any better than that. But you need a lawyer, because everything that I just read, to me, at the time I got this paperwork, I understood some of it, but not all of it. You don't understand any of it. And not only that, even if I read that 25 times, and I did, I didn't understand what was said, because it's the law. And the law is something that these people in the Philippines and lawyers in general go to school for 4 years to pass what is called the bar. The only lawyers that pass the bar exam can represent you in a court of law. And the only bars that you ever passed is the black bar in. The black bar in, I'm in the black bar in. I have committed an immigration sin. Black bar in, I'm in right now. Some people call it the Hooskow. I'm in the black bar in, and Popeye's getting ready for his Christmas special. That's right, Eddie. I'm in the black bar in, the black bar inn. I have considered an immigration sin. I am in the black bar inn. I'm in the black bar inn. I'm in the black bar inn. I'm in the black bar inn because I committed an immigration sin. Popeye's getting ready. His 6-month anniversary video is probably on the boards. He's probably cutting and editing. He's doing this for you, Barry. Barry Jordan, even if you could get out before Christmas, please don't ruin Popeye's Christmas special, polyhogue, which means please in Visaya. But you know that. Please don't get out before Christmas. Good Lord, that is the spitting image of Barry. Come on, really. You look at this picture, right? You look at this picture. Oh, this is the picture. Did you like my Black Bar Inn song? You could use that. Look at that. This picture screams Alabama. I'm talking, that's a 6.8 gig picture too. That is one of the highest resolution pictures I've ever taken. That picture says 1,000 Alabama, 1,000 different ways. That picture screams Alabama. The lack of hair around the eyes, the ears, the thinned out mustache. That picture screams Alabama, Alabama. I'm in a black bar inn and I'm not in Alabama. Look, he's smiling. Look at that. Look. See how his face lit up? Let me go back to the comments. I'm almost done, guys. You're gonna... The Bantayan... Wait, we're not ready for that. The Free Alabama Bat. Querido Tiger. Free the Alabama Bat. And then there's a picture of a bat. But nothing like the Alabama bat. That bat is like... I'm going to use that bat a lot. Good Lord, that is the spitting image of Barry. Says, what is that guy's name? Querido. You guys. Hey, Mr. Michael Thomas Fazio Esquire. Barry, you need a lawyer. Querido Tigra. Mike, you are a better man than me trying to get the Alabama bat understand English is a feat. You, my friend, are a true Alabama bat whisperer. I'm a bat whisperer. Barry. I think maybe you're going to listen. Barry, listen to me. All kidding aside. You need to learn. You are not going into a courtroom and slurring your words, number one. But when you're having a live stream and you start speaking, put the camera on a beanbag or somewhere where it doesn't move. And talk or use those earbuds, the earphones that you had. That was perfect sound. Because nobody can understand you. Who wants to go back and forth? What, do you really believe that I went back and forth 10 times to listen to your words? Do you care? No, you don't care because you're not paying attention to the details, dude. The passport never left Cebu. It took like freaking 5 tries to understand that. But last week you said the passport was in Manila. And last week you said somebody had the passport to please give it back. So everything that you said was a lie. We could just smooth over it, shine over it, as Pink Floyd would say, shine on, which means to just pass it by. We could just shine on those comments because that's what you're doing. You are shining us on. You mumble, nobody can understand you, you're speaking some worthless, slurry language that you think people, and you speak twice as fast as you should, considering that your ability to pronounce the English language sucks. Okay? It's just pure adulterated snot coming out of your mouth as far as language is concerned. You have no understanding of the English language or the words in the English language, and you don't know how to pronounce the English language. If I were you and I was in jail, I would learn something that's going to help me. And one thing that might help you is if you could speak English. Learn how to speak English, dude. Learn to speak slowly and clearly. If you think you're going to represent yourself and you're going to go up and slur a bunch of words, it's going to be that much less time the judge is going to listen to you. And you need a lawyer. And even when you have a lawyer, let me tell you something. You are never, ever, ever, one time ever going to talk to the judge. Ever. Never going to happen. You go to that court case 9 times, the judge is never going to talk to you. He don't talk to you. He talks to your lawyer. The other guy, the judge ain't going to talk to him either. The judge is going to talk to his lawyer. You need to get a lawyer, dude. Everybody here agree with me that he needs to get a lawyer? The Bantayan butthole always tried to manufacture witnesses. Just ask Warren. Well, he said he had a witness a year ago. He had a witness. He just has to wait for the witness to get to Cebu. And the guy never showed up, or woman, and now he says the guy's not coming. His face was never in the videos. I don't know. I didn't. The 33-page document that Barry had did not show the video content, so I don't know about that. Michael Thomas Fazio, Esquire, Bat Whisperer. Yeah, so I don't. But and then there's a statute of limitations to when the videos could have been made and when they could be used, depending on other codes that you need a lawyer. Michael is up there with Andrew Lloyd Webster, my Webster's Dictionary, I think that is. Thank you. Andrew Lloyd Webster. I think that's the Webster's Dictionary, right? Let's take a look. Oh, no. Okay, so that is Andrew Lloyd Webber, a composer. Ah, okay, Webster's Dictionary was a different Webster. Andrew Lloyd Webster. Let's see. Andrew Lloyd Webster has composed scores of some of the world's most famous musical, including Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Joseph, and the amazing... Oh, well, thank you, Steve. I saw Cats. I saw Phantom of the Opera. I saw both of those plays. Phantom of the Opera, I enjoyed a lot, although I didn't have great seats for that. I had great seats for Cats. Not my cup of tea. It was on Broadway for like 7, 8 years before I got to see it. You got to go see Cats. Cats is... I don't want to do a Cats review, but they were running through the audience. They were singing. They were dancing around and jumping on the floor like cats. And I was with Maria. Oh, God, she just sent me a message this morning. I was with a girl named Maria. Was it Maria? No, it was not Maria. It was another girl. It was a blind date. Literally a blind date. I remember, now I remember. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story you never forget. So, I don't know how I met this girl. I have no idea. I don't remember how I met her. Her name was Terry. And somehow I dialed a wrong number. And when the girl answered the phone, I says, "Hey, Terry, what's up?" Because I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years. And she said to me, "Not much. Are you coming over?" And I said, "Well, are you still married to Vinny?" Which was my childhood friend. She goes, "No. We got divorced." And she lived in Brooklyn. So I said, "No, I don't want to come. I just wanted to say hello." So about a week later, she calls me back. And she goes, "This isn't Terry." And I said, "Well, who is it?" She goes, "I live around the corner from you. I know who you are. I want to go out with you." And I said, "Well, tell me where you live. We'll meet." "No, I don't want to meet. I want to talk to you for a while. I know you. I saw you were wearing a green tank top, and you had your truck. You went down 97th Street today at 3 o'clock. So now I know she lives in the neighborhood." So we talked for a long time. This went on for months. She goes, "I saw that you were with so-and-so, a woman that I dated for 17 years. I saw you were in the park with that blonde-headed girl," another woman that knew about the woman I dated for 17 years. "I saw you with Linda. I know that you're dating Linda." She knew everything about me. So that doesn't bother. No, it doesn't bother me. But I wanna go out with you. I said, "Well, one day we'll go out." So I buy it, not for her though. I buy a ticket to go see Cats. My mother, all she did was talk about her first experience at Cats. My mother, but my mother, it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. I'm going to go do my normal surprise for my mother and father. I'm going to pick her up with a limousine, and we're going out, and we're going to go to the city for dinner, or her birthday, or an early birthday, or an early Christmas, or an early Thanksgiving. We're going to get a limousine, and we're doing the whole 9 yards. We're going to get Michael, the driver, and we're going out. But tonight we're going out for dinner. But that night, I set up a reservation at SPQR, and we're going to go out, and then we're going to go see Cats, and then we'll do the Central Park carriage, horse and buggy carriage thing. So my mother, that day, I don't tell her, because this is a surprise. I tell her in the morning, "Mom, I'm going to take you out for dinner tonight." She goes, "No, you can't. The girls, her bowling team, are going to take her out for dinner." I said, "Well, can they do it another night?" She goes, "No." She goes, "Why? What's up?" And I told her, "Well, I got tickets for Cats for me and you. And then we'll go out to dinner first." She goes, "I can't go. Take somebody else." So I call up Linda, and Linda doesn't answer the phone. And then I called up Eileen, and Eileen was busy with her family. And then I called up that girl. I don't even remember her name. And I said, "Look, do you have time to go out to dinner tonight?" And she said, "Yeah." Now, okay, I'll have Michael, because she knew the limousine company that I used. She knew everything about me. Everything about me. I says, "Well, I'll have..." So, I'm in a hurry. I had to work that day. And so instead of... My mistake. So I said, "Well, I'll have Michael pick you up with the limousine at 5:30, whatever time it was. It was dinner time. But the show is late, 8 o'clock. We got time to grab a bite to eat, because I'm not taking her to SPQR. I don't know her. and SPQR is $150 for dinner. I don't know her, so we'll grab a bite to eat on the way to the city. And Michael, they had no cell phones back in the 80s. So I said, Michael, there's going to be a girl in a black dress. She goes, I'm going to wear my little black dress for you. I never saw her before. Never saw her. Didn't know who she was. And after I met her, then I knew who she was. Because I went by her house every day for 20 years. So I send Michael over to the corner, 2 blocks away from her house. She's going to be on the corner on 162nd and 97th Street in a little black dress. Michael goes and picks her up, comes back to my house, beeps the horn, and I go downstairs and I open up the door, and it's the girl from 99th and 160, between 161st and 162nd Avenue. She weighs about 300 pounds. I'm not kidding you about that. And I'm in the car now, and Michael looks at me, and I look at him. I got tickets. I said, what the hell? I'll take it to the city. We'll go to see Cats. I want to see it because everybody talked about it for years and years. Now, this girl really weighed 300 pounds. So we didn't stop for dinner either. We went and we walked underneath the Verrazano Bridge on the way to the city, because I told him to take the Belt Parkway. And we took a little walk under the Verrazano Bridge, and I took a couple of pictures. And we went to the city, and we go to the front of the thing. And everybody sees us pull up in an Excalibur stretch. And now they're looking to see who's getting out of the car. And this girl gets out first. And they're like looking at her. She's huge. And she has a black dress on with a short black dress that's above her knees, like with frills on it and stuff like that, and a low-cut blouse. And she's every bit of 300 pounds. So I get out, and I tell Michael what time the show is going to end. So I said, you take off, and we'll see you later. So we go into the theater, and she doesn't fit into the seat. She really doesn't fit into the seat. I'm not kidding. She doesn't fit in the seat. And we're sitting in the middle of like 12 seats. And she don't fit. So she sits on top of the handrails. On top of the handrails. That's how big she was. And when she's sitting on top of the handrails, then she's blocking everybody's view behind her. And she cannot fit into the seat. Her butt won't fit. So they didn't say much about that. I mean, the ushers came over and they saw she didn't fit and there was no other accommodations. Sold out show for 8 years. So I'm watching the show. I'm not enjoying the show. I didn't like the music. I had no idea what it was about. It was about cats, alley cats in the alley, running back and forth, opening up garbage pails and eating out of garbage pails, which has a lot to do with this show when you're talking about an Alabama bat. So the cats and all the dancing, and they came up and maybe I was 2 seats off the aisle, and they came and they said hello to almost everybody in the whole audience. They did their cat thing, and they were waving their tail around and stuff like that. And about halfway through the first act, she falls into the seats. Her butt just like, whatever, she fell into the seats. And then she was in the seat now. So when the first act was up, I want to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. And she wanted to go to the bathroom, and she couldn't get out of the seat. We had to get like 5 ushers to stand 2 behind her or 3 behind her and 2 in front of her, grabbing her arms to pop her out of the seat. No joke. They had to pop her out. I was dying. So they get her out of the seat, and we're looking at each other. She's standing there. They're holding her up because her legs got pins and needles and went numb, and she couldn't stand up. And I'm sitting there looking at her, laughing. What am I going to do? I'm laughing. And they're holding her up because she's shaking back and forth like this. God forbid she falls down. The seats in the audience would go down like dominoes. By this time, everybody's out at the break time, halftime. So we got our snacks, like she needed snacks. And I said, do you really want to watch the rest of this? She goes, no. I said, good. Let's go home. She goes, home? What do you mean? And I'm going, no, I'll take you home. She goes, aren't we going to make love? And I'm going, you're kidding, right? You're kidding, right? You're kidding. She asked me. She goes, after we've been talking for months, and I heard all about you, and I'm going, we're going home. So Michael was not right in front of the place, but I saw it was a white Excalibur stretch limousine. So I found him and I told him to come back. And when I walked down the block, I said, Michael, look, Michael. He goes, what's up with that girl? And I told him I'm going to marry her. She's rich. And he started laughing. He goes, no, you're not going to marry her. Because Michael lived right across the street. He parked his limousine in my driveway. He rented my driveway from my landlord. He goes, no, you're not going to marry her. Well, yeah, I'm going to marry her. And he started laughing. He goes, what? So I told him the story when we went around the block to come back to pick her up. I said, take her home. So he took her home. And he goes, what do you want to do now? I said, bring me back to the city. I want to go party. So I did. And he brought me back to the city. And I went to the Les Jardins. I think the name of the club was Les Jardins? Yeah, Les Jardins. Some guy owned it. Some rich guy. Johnny Addison. One of the richest people in the world. And it was on the top floor of a building. Took an elevator up there. And it was all people that knew these were the rich people in New York. But I went there because I knew Johnny Addison, but I also knew other people that were there because I hung out there. So, and that was the end of the night. And Michael, I went home later on and went home. So, that's true story. I don't know that I have pictures of her. BAMMA of the opera, LOL, says DNC. That's Barry's high school yearbook picture. Hey, Barry, if we can't have fun with you. Barry, you are one funny dude. So I hope I find that. I hope I have pictures of her. I don't know that I did. I remember taking pictures whenever I used the limo. A long time ago, man. Yeah, judge this, that, and the other. Whatever. Hagante Tambok. You know when Barry's lying, his mouth is moving. That's true. You know how true that is? I mean, that's like so true. It's unbelievably true. I have tried to figure out how his passport got back to Cebu. I have tried to remember which lawyer he gave $36,000, not $40,000. That was my mistake. But that lawyer was not for immigration. That lawyer was to file charges against his adversary. So he never had a Bureau of Immigration lawyer. And the Bureau of Immigration lawyer in Manila is not real either. If there was a lawyer, it was for the Bureau of Immigration paperwork that was supposed to have been straightened out for 85,000 pesos, and that's possible. So if he had a lawyer in Manila for the Bureau of Immigration, it was the Bureau of Immigration's lawyer for the Bureau of Immigration paperwork in Manila. It's not for the Bureau of Immigration in Cebu. So if that 85,000 pesos was spent on a lawyer for immigration in Manila, which it may have been, it has nothing to do with the lawyer he needs now, and the 36,000 pesos for the lawyer that he got to file cyber libel against his adversary, that's gone. And he goes, well, I was supposed to give the lawyer 60,000, 24,000 short, but that money was for a cyber libel that the lawyer was working on, not Bureau of Immigration. So that's a different case. They take the case, cyber libel, one case. One count of cyber libel, one case. 5 counts of cyber libel, one case. 5 counts of cyber libel, one case. Bureau of Immigration problem, another case. They can do both, but it's a different case. It's another 85,000 pesos. So the money that he said he gave the lawyer, 36,000, a year and a half ago, is not money that can be used for the current lawyer. So Hagante Tambok, Tynak is right. If his lips are moving, he's lying. He lied about the lawyer, the first lawyer. He lied about the lawyer in Manila being able to take care of his case in Cebu, and now he's lying that he only needed 24,000 pesos to give the first lawyer for the cyber libel case. That is very confusing, man. Very confusing. Thanks for stopping by, Hagante. Come on, Barry graduated high school. I doubt that. Mr. Fazio, you are correct. He needs a lawyer, says John S. Now, John S. Okay, so John S. is a friend of Barry's. We're not against Barry. We're having fun with Barry because Barry is a fun guy. Not as much fun as some, but he's given us untold hours of YouTube fun, and he's going to make Popeye's Christmas special. So you think about it. Barry, you are going to make the girl in the black dress. Jay is in the house. Jay, real deal. We'll get to that comment in a moment. The judge said that, okay, come on. John S. is a friend of Barry's, and John S. says that he needs a lawyer. And John S. is right. So, Barry, there's one of your friends. We'll ask Jay when we get to his comment if Jay thinks he needs a lawyer. Steve, 25901, as far as Andrew Lloyd Webber goes, Jesus Christ Superstar is a solid start to finish. Ah, that's right, Steve. You're right about that. Thank you. That's right. Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote Jesus Christ Superstar. Ah, there it is right there. I didn't read it before. Andrew Lloyd Webber is the composer of The Likes of Us and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Cats, Phantom of the Opera, Sunset Boulevard, School of Rock, and many other productions. Thank you. Ah, that's where I remember his name from. I saw Jesus Christ Superstar, too. That was a long, long time ago. So we'll ask Jay before I get there. Do you think Barry needs a lawyer? J. Allen. Do you think that Barry needs a lawyer? J. So, if you are ever in Alabama, you have to check out the finest American the finest American play of our lifetime bats. Bats, not cats. That's got to be Scott. That's got to be Scott in incognito. That's got to be Scott. There's wordsmithing there above and beyond that of mortal men. There's a scooter. If you're ever in Alabama, you have to check out our finest American play of our lifetime bats. 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 There's a scooter running. Make sure no one is listening through your window like some peeper. Thank you. Little black dress. It was, uh-oh. The little black dress, and then the guy shows a teepee or a little black tarpaulin. That one, I will never, ever, 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 ever forget that date. You are a friggin' riot, LOL, on top of the handrails. No, that's true. It's true. The lady sat on top of the handrails. And they put a very thin woman next to her, and I was on the other side, and I was a lot lighter at the time as well. Yeah, that's true. A little black dress or a tarp? Scott Del Fuego, 3 balloons, trapped Michael into a public date. God, I wish, God almighty, man, my father never let me live that down. Everybody in Howard Beach knew about that date. Everybody knew. Every single person. She told everybody I took her to see cats. And she lived exactly 1,100 feet from my mom and dad's house. And every neighbor on the block I knew, I grew up with, and she told Pat and her husband, who lived across the street, that I took her to see cats. Everybody in the neighborhood knew. That was the joke. The joke was for years. The joke was on me. The girl in the black dress was really a man. Isn't that right, Fazio? Says Jay, real deal. No, she was a woman, because as I just said, she lived right down the block from me, and she had children. I don't know how many children. She had children that lived in the house with her, and apparently she even owned the house, because she lived there for years and years. I used to wave to her. I never stopped to talk to her. I knew who she was. When I got in the car, I knew who she was. That's why I couldn't throw her out. I didn't want to be rude. And it was just a date. Those legs, DNC says, those legs were numb. You could have bent them into any position you wanted. That's cold, DNC. Holy shit, that's cold. That is cold. That girl, that was, I wish my dad was alive. He would remind you. Every once in a while, every time we went down the block, whether we were in my car or his car, it didn't matter for 20 years till I moved away. Well, no, I moved away in 93, so that was in the early 80s. For 12 years. For 12 years, whenever I was in the car with my dad or my mother and father, and that girl was outside, or we just went past her house, which was every day, he'd go, "You want me to stop?" And he'd slow down and beep the horn. And if she looked out the window, he'd wave to her. And I waved to her too. But I mean, yeah, my dad had quite the sense of humor. Jay, real deal. My dad would be just like you. Those legs when John S., I'm not a friend of Barry. Do not know him, but I wish him luck. Okay, so John S., well then apparently there's another John S. on somebody's live stream, but I'm not sure who. Okay, so John S., no. Just know of him. Maybe I've seen you on other people's live stream. My apologies. I don't remember every live stream that every person. Yeah, I wouldn't want to connect you to Barry as a friend unless you were his friend. My apology. Please, John S., please accept my apologies. Wild beasts have pretty voices. Oh, she had a voice. Oh, God. Her voice was sexy. I got to tell you, the things we talked about, I'm embarrassed about talking about those things. That's where she got that idea from about me taking her home. So Jay, the real deal. Now, Jay and Barry, thank you, Jay. Jay and Barry are in fact, they're friends. I mean, they've certainly been friends for quite a while, and Jay has been to the detention center. And there's a group of people that are a group of friends of Barry. They're all going to agree with me. Thank you, Jay, for answering the question. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Now, I don't know what else to say, Barry, but even though I make a little bit of fun of you and the Alabama bat and everything like that, I would prefer, I would want you to be out by 2037. Because that would make me, you got to remember something. If you're still in jail in the year 2038, what does that come out to, 2038? All right, hold on a minute. Okay, so let's just say you're in jail in the year 2039, right? 2039. If you're still in jail 15 years from now, and let's subtract 1955 equals 84, I'll be 84 years old. When I'm 84, I might not be able to give you advice. I may have forgotten everything I know about the law in the Philippines. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but my screen just went yellow. That's strange. My screen just turned pure yellow. So, look at this. Well, you can't see me. Well, if you can see me, then you should be able to see that the screen is yellow. Somebody put in the chat if you can still hear my voice. Somebody put yes or no in the chat, please. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna. Okay, you can hear my voice. We have you and we can see you, but the screen is 100% yellow. I don't know how to get it back. I don't know how I don't know why that happened. It happened. I'm swathing the screen. I'm swathering the screen. I could turn the camera off, but I did that last time and then I lost the stream. It's God. It's God. Look at this. This is an amazing thing. you can see the screen is still yellow. Okay, well, you can see and hear me. I'll just talk. I'm good at that. But look, see, I'm swathing down the screen, up and down, sideways. And if I shut the camera off, I could try to get it back, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Yellow is my color. Well, it is. Thank you very much, John S. You know that. So that's what we got. We got a yellow. A yellow. It must mean something. It must mean something. I don't know what it means. Now it froze on a picture of me. Yeah, I'm having problems with this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut the camera off, and then I'll try to restart it. Okay? Back. Wow, that was really interesting. I literally shut down the camera. The picture disappeared again. Oh, yeah. I love paying $1,500 for a phone that lasted 15 months. I love that.